Are you ready? Yes, it's Friday, guys, May 19th. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And indeed, this is a live news show for movie fans where we talk about the trending movie news headlines of the day. One of the last few actual live shows that actually does go through the actual movie news topics. It's really strange how we're all sort of like dying off. And I'm not going to fill it with fluff about stories about, yeah, I'm late because I just had to kill or get rid of a wasp in my apartment. You don't care about that stuff. Or my dating life. Let's just get into the movie news headlines. That's trending. Disney Plus is going to be removing a bunch of content. Oh my God, that's not good. Transformers tracking numbers are starting to trickle in. And so are reviews for Indiana Jones 5 that debuted at Cannes yesterday. By the way, speaking about Wasp, if for some reason you see me go, whoa, it's because for some reason, I don't know how they got in here, but I thought I got rid of them all. If it happens, it happens. Let's just start off today's show by taking a look at that Beetlejuice 2 image that surfaced yesterday. Yes. Beetlejuice 2 set pics show Winona Ryder reprising her role as Lydia. Cool. Well, we know that she was going to be back in this. I can't believe that they're shooting this already. Unbelievable. So, we got a shot here from, I guess, somebody's paparazzi pic. This is not really official pic, but it's just her sitting in a car with the hairdo. And Winona Ryder is back on the set of Beetlejuice 2. So as we take a look at this, I'm just kind of like, wow, yeah, that's her. Oh, looks like her. You can see the camera mount there as well. I'm just really shocked that this thing is going really as quickly as I thought it would be. Well, I guess they can't retool the script right now because of the writer's strike, so they're going with what they got. Tim Burton is back and is going to have Jenna Ortega. So she's doing that now. So she's doing this in between this and Wednesday season 2, Jenna Ortega is. But our first look at Beetlejuice 2 with Winona Ryder looks fairly legit, guys. At least there it does. I don't know if that's something that's maybe not it. Hey, if that's like a pic from like years ago, then hey, shame on me for not vetting this enough. But it is up on one of the sites, and I seen it trending on Twitter last night. So Beetlejuice 2 set pic, very fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Okay, guys, there are all my other social media handles. You can find like extended versions of some shorts that we do and stuff here on the channel on there. Chris Schubert says, how am I doing today? I was doing good until I heard a slight buzzing in the air. No, I don't care. Whatever. It's a wasp. If it stings me while I'm trying to kill it, no big deal. Chris Schober says, I'm having some toast and orange. Okay, nice. Good. Good for you. Yeah, and I was out for my morning walk today, and I heard this big loud boom. I thought there was like somebody had like an explosion in their backyard or something, but a squirrel fried itself on the electrical wires on a transformer. Because I went around the corner and I saw this smoke coming out. So what the heck's going on? And there was like this dead squirrel on the ground. I was like, oh, okay. Hey, that happens. Yeah, so the day's been quite fascinating. Now, guys, just a quick note here. We were going to do the Horror Weekly Roundup show today as well. But when I was doing the show notes this morning, all this other stuff just started to come out, and I was realizing, wow, we would have a big show then. So we're going to do the horror movie news tomorrow, and we'll just try to get through some of these topics. Let's talk about Twisters, and some more casting has come in. Kiernan Shipka, David Cornsweet, yeah, they joined that. We saw that the other day too. We talked about that, but Kiernan Shipka joined the cast. This is another project talking about Beetlejuice 2 and stuff. This one's coming along nicely, right? Daisy, who was it? Katie O'Brien was announced, Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones. She was the first one to come on board. So the cast is filling out. David Cornsweet, possibly our new Superman. I'm putting my money on him to be our new Superman. He just looks like him, so Why not? And Kiernan Shipka was the new addition. Um, she looks really familiar to me. Why am I not placing what she's in? Carriers, Mad Men, uh, White House Plumbers, Riverdale. Okay, yeah, she was in Riverdale. There you go. Swimming with Sharks, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Family Guy. So a lot of TV stuff. Any movies or anything? Twisters, Sweethearts, not really. Bye for Hobbit in live chat says, hey. So Kiernan Shipka joins the cast of Twisters. Twisters is due out next year. July next year is when it's. Moira Attorney's going to be in this. That was May 20 or expected July 19th, 2024. Well, you never know if there's going to be some production problems, but yeah. Kiernan Shipka joins the cast of Twisters. Yeah. So there you go. Just quick little update there. Okay, so let's get into the big news at Cannes. We know that Indiana Jones 5 was going to debut there, and while their headlines are going to be like, yes, Indiana Jones 5's reviews are in, and people are loving it. It got a standing ovation. Why is that? I'm trying to focus. Indiana Jones 5 debuts at Cannes, and the reviews are in. And are they good? Are they good? I don't know. Well, they got a standing ovation, lukewarm 5-minute ovation, and there's some footage out there on the social medias of Harrison Ford getting emotional there as people were giving him the ovation in an emotional goodbye. So based on that kind of a headline, you would say, well, look, Indiana Jones 5, people are liking it, right? Yeah. Sequel emerge. The first reactions emerge. So let's get with the good ones first. Redemption. James Mangold redeems Indiana Jones with Dial of Destiny, a farewell to one of the greatest movie characters in cinema history. Action, laughs, charms, just everything that makes him great. Hey, easy there. Thanks, Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge for the ride. Again, remember, these are people that are invited over to Cannes. They get put in nice hotels and stuff like that. So I don't expect them too much to come out trashing it. Maybe. Harrison Ford's Last Stand as Indiana Jones is a terrific thrill ride. Here's the Total Film review. So Total Film was there. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny reveals in Last Hurrah. So, yeah, you would think that James Mangold delivers. Harrison Ford says it's effing magic when it works. So those headlines seem to suggest that people like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So let's go over to the tomato meter and see what it says, because it should be high by those headlines, right? Oh, sweet Jesus. 44%. Well, that's only 16 reviews. Ooh. And it debuted with some TV spots yesterday as well. Guys, 44%. That's not good. Really? From James Mangold, 44% by Dial of Destiny. Let's take a look at some of the snapshot reviews. Now remember, this is a franchise kind of film, guys. It's going to have name recognition and people will go out and see it just because of that. That's like what happens with the Fast and Furious franchise and stuff. So it's going to be fairly somewhat immune to some criticism. Look at, is there a positive review at all? Okay, there's a couple. Let's take a look at the Daily Beast that says, the de-aging and the CGI manipulations of Ford's body only serve to demonstrate that Dial of Destiny just wants to turn back the clock instead of doing anything new. Well, that was an issue because they issued that what was it, a parade sequence where he was de-aged and it looked awful. You could tell it was just his face plastered on the stunt rider's body on the horse. So that's not good. I was hoping that would get updated by the time the movie came out, but maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so BBC News says, the jokes, the zest, and the exuberance just aren't there. So instead of a joyous send-off for our beloved hero, we get a depressing reminder of how much livelier the past adventures were. But I was really hoping that James Mangold, who did Logan, would be able to pull this through. Indiana Jones on the Dial of Destiny is a dutiful, eager, but ultimately rather joyless piece of nostalgic hokum. Hokum! Describing an Indiana Jones movie? Well, it's not unheard of, but I mean, that was part of the charm of it. Guys, so as we can see, some of the early headlines here were kind of like, it's got a standing ovation. It's a good way to send him off. Harrison Ford gets emotional about his reception. It was like, on the surface level, we see that, yeah, there's like some puffery going on here. And when you actually start to dig into it, it's kind of like, oh no, oh my God. I don't know if I like this. Variety says here, Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny review, Harrison Ford plays the aging Indy in a sequel that serves up nostalgic hokum minus the thrill. Again, what's with this word hokum? I mean, come on. The Ark of the Covenant that actually has ghosts in it that comes out from the get-go. It had that edge of hokum in it, but it was played in such a way that, it had Steven Spielberg handling the reins with George Lucas coming up with that hokum. Like that's not a surprise to anyone that, yeah, it was George Lucas that put these two scenarios together, and it was Spielberg that made it work until, I guess, Indiana Jones 4. Let's take some live comments here. Arglass says the bar was set low with Indiana Jones 4, so I'm expecting a swan song masterpiece. Well, that's what we were hoping, because James Mangold proved that he can deliver with like Wolverine or Logan. But he had that kind of misstep with. Everybody thinks that Logan is a huge masterpiece. I liked it. It's not nearly as epic as some people map it out to be. But remember, James Mangold also did the Wolverine before that, right? Whoops. I think we got to take this with a grain of salt. As I said, the early reviews are coming in and it's not good. But I'm still excited to see Harrison Ford in this and to see what they do. I still will go in with somewhat of an open mind about this, but 44% out of the gate is not the way that you want to start, right? You would like to have at least be like around 70s, 80s or so, and you would want to hear people coming out saying happy, joyful things. Let's go down to some of the people that actually liked it. Somebody from Collider. Oh God. Again, with these, it's a vast step up from the muddled mess of Crystal Skull, and while it's not perfect, with its uneven storytelling, it's not a bad end for our favorite archaeological professor, adventurer. Okay, so even there, in that praise of it, you're conceding some stuff there. You're conceding that it's uneven storytelling. Harrison Ford finds a fitting end to one of the cinema's greatest action heroes and one of the most iconic roles of his career. With this film, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a thrilling, action-packed swan song for the iconic character. And guys, I'm not expecting this to be as good as, like, they peaked with Last Crusade. Last Crusade is by far the best Indiana Jones film, in my opinion. You don't get any better than that, because it had a good story, it had good acting, and then Harrison Ford had tremendous chemistry with Sean Connery in that. It ended with them riding off into the sunset. You should have stopped it there. I know that there's that temptation to have more, but it's just kind of like, that's the way that should have ended, because it seems like they just didn't work the story enough. Yeah, there's going to be lots of flashbacks in this. But the general audience is, I suppose, as movie fans, we're movie fans here, so we know that we know these headlines, we see the reviews coming out, and we look at it accordingly. But the casual movie fans, they don't care. You ask a casual movie fan, um, like someone who will go out and watch movies like Fast and Furious. You ask them, "What did you think about Cannes Festival?" And they'll be like, "What's Cannes?" Right? That's what they'll say. So they don't really care about all this stuff. It's mostly for us. We're looking at the temperatures of the room, right? We're looking at what kind of shape the waters are in before we're going into this thing. And so far, the waters for Indiana Jones 5 look mixed, dubious at best, for sure. Um, yeah, by yeah, we're going to talk about Fast 10 here in a minute. I want to see Fast 10 yesterday. A great movie. Bifer says Fast 10 best movie of 2023. Well, I wouldn't go that far. We're going to do our full review for Fast 10 here in just a little bit, but I do have some good arguments and cases to be made with this. No, it's not the best movie of this year. Not in my opinions. But I'm somebody who looks for, you guys see, you've done full live watch alongs with me. You know that I look at it at a very analytical level. So I'm looking at story structure, I'm looking at pacing, I'm looking at acting. But as in the case with Fast 10 and hopefully with Indiana Jones 5 here, I'll be able to just go in and say, all right, we're going to give some leniency to those properties because they're just trying to deliver a turn your brain off action thriller. Or adventure movie in the case of Indiana Jones. So that's the mindset that I'll be going into it. I'm not expecting it to be something up there for Best Picture or anything like that. Not by far. So Indiana Jones 5, guys, what do you think about those early reviews? Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. All right. So, yeah, people are, Fast and Furious 10 opens up today, and everybody's been sort of excited for it. We'll talk about it in a few minutes, but Kathleen Kennedy was over there at Cannes as well, and, promoting the Indiana Jones film. So let's talk about what Kathleen Kennedy had to say about the writer's strike, because she weighed in and it made headlines here. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy and how she'd like to see the strike resolved. Because it is going to impact certain things like they're saying that the Acolyte's done, but it obviously affected Andor, right? It shut that down because the showrunner Tony Gilroy says that he stands in solidarity with the writers. Kathleen Kennedy was asked at Cannes, so she said in a measured response, quote, "I would like to see the whole situation resolved truly in an environment where people can talk about some of the really complicated issues that are affecting the entire industry." So that's a very diplomatic quote. The quote continues, "But when it comes to acknowledging the importance of writing, I think everybody out here has demonstrated that you can't do any of this without great writing." And then you hear about the reviews for Dial of Destiny, and you're like, right? So all of us who make movies agree anything with television. I know most people are in full support of the writers getting what they deserve, close quote. And it goes on for a little bit more. I think the meta issue here is how this is being impacted by the industry and stuff like that. And she goes on to talk briefly about the AI stuff, right? Both technologically and basic aspects of how we work. That's going to take time. Yeah, they've really got us, both for the industries that work with AI and government and stuff. This year and the next couple of years, they've got to sit down and start to put together panels and instructions and rule books on how we're going to deal with AI. We can't be retroactive here. We got to be proactive. We can't be the mentality of, well, why would we put seatbelts in a car? I drive safe. We don't need seatbelts. And eventually we learned that, yes, we need seatbelts. We can't be that with AI in movie writing and stuff. Oh, we'll just let ChatGPT or whatever write the script. We don't need that. But who gets paid then? Do we need writers then? Let's get rid of that. We need to put down a construct of how we're going to deal with that, right? We can't be that Ooh, yeah, I can have a beer while I'm driving. There's no big deal. There's no laws against it, kind of thing, kind of right. Yeah, we learn the hard way, kind of thing. Let's try not to learn the hard way with the way that AI is going to impact this industry. And at least Kathleen Kennedy is being a little bit cognizant of that, so I respect that. Her final quote here says, "quote I think that we should take the time necessary to articulate those what those feelings are." Close quote. Yeah, yeah, and it's worth talking about because Lucasfilm did do the new Indiana Jones as well as shoehorning in the Daisy Ridley spin-off film. Shoehorning in, James. What are you talking about? Well, yeah, if it's not episode 10, then what the heck is it, right? I don't know. Great writing. Kathleen Kennedy. Somebody's talking about great writing. Rise of Skywalker. Is it seriously? My God. Yeah, but I'm not going to go down that road today because it's Friday and we're having so much fun here. Should I have turned on the camera and let you guys see me try to run around the apartment swatting at a wasp? Probably, but I was just trying not to get stung. Anyway, Kathleen Kennedy quote. What do you think about that? What am I talking about? Well, you need to come watch the full live show for us guys to appreciate what's going on here with the live content. Keeping with the Disney and Lucasfilm stuff, Disney Plus has come out with some bold proclamations that, they're going to cut some stuff. That sucks. They're going to cut some content. And they're going to remove some stuff. What? This is shocking. Disney removes dozens of series from Disney Plus and Hulu, including Big Shot and Willow. Willow just came out. I was toiling around with doing full watch-alongs, but I guess that's the nail in the coffin right there, that you're not going to get a season 2 of Willow. And Dollface? This is what I don't understand. On the surface level of this, as fans, and you hear them talk about, okay, we need to have as much content for Disney Plus as possible so we can attract people to come in and subscribe, but then you're cutting material? This doesn't compute, This doesn't seem to add up, and 2 plus 2 equals 0. What? No. Yeah. So what are some of these things that they canceled beyond this? They've published a full list up here on Deadline. And again, as I said, what harm is it to keep something like a Willow? Because it was produced for Disney Plus. They have all the rights for it. I don't understand this mentality. I'm sitting here, I'm coming towards the end of the month of May, and I'm like, do I need to keep Disney Plus? I might as well cancel it and wait until the Acolyte comes out or Ahsoka, because I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. So what do we got here? We got The Big Shot, Turner and Hooch. Really? Turner and Hooch? The series or the movie? Mighty Ducks, Game Changers. Removed. Like, seriously, this just puzzles me. It boggles my mind. The World According to Jeff Goldblum, Marvel's Project Hero, Marvel's Empower. So Marvel's Voices Rising, the music of Wakanda Forever. Again, I don't understand this. And then there's a bunch of stuff from Hulu, because Hulu is going to be merging into Disney Plus. I hope that some of your favorite shows and stuff here are not going to get eliminated. When I was looking at the stuff from Hulu, I was like, please don't have Predator Prey get removed. Please don't have Hellraiser get removed. Like, it's just like, you guys know how much I love Hellraiser. The new Hellraiser, one of my favorite horrors from last year for sure. So I don't know if it's just because of a public image. Does it say anything in here? For more insight, read into this issue. Well, I don't want to read into your issue. I just want you to give it to me right here. So let's go and take a look at some of these comments that are trickling in from people's reactions. The Disney Vault is back. Really? Why are the writers going on strike? Also, studios. Huh? I don't get it. Little Demon doesn't cost that much to make and does pretty well. Yeah. So, yeah, again, Little Demon or whatever, these small shows have their small little fan bases. And just do what Netflix has done. You bought it, just keep it there. I don't understand why you would get rid of it. Like, Fear Street's on Netflix and it's going to stay there, right? Why would it leave? Why would they cancel it? Yeah. Sorry, I was mesmerized by Walk Like Egyptian song there. Susanna Hoff. Well, um, if you grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, this is a nasty work. Yeah, it is nasty. There's just something about this that reeks of foulness, right? Why? I don't get this. They don't like to pay residuals, so it's cheaper just to take them down than to keep paying for it. Residuals. Again, yeah, you're paying, but that's what you're paying for, so that people look at the catalog and say, well, yeah, I like this. I want to keep this in my, like, my God, I just, some of it is just really bizarre because you just made Willow and you don't want to keep that on your platform. Are you that embarrassed by Willow, Disney, that you would want to remove that from your platform altogether and say, well, no, maybe that didn't happen. You see what I mean by it being kind of like, something about this doesn't smell right. It doesn't pass the sniff test. Let's continue with Disney just closing a hotel, it looks like. This is not really on Disney Plus stuff, but Disney closing Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel less than 2 years after it opened. Ooh, I never stayed there. Disney announces closing. It happens, right? You try something out. This one's not too big, but it is sort of entertainment news kind of stuff. I guess they put on like what cosplay shows in this resort kind of thing, trying to give that immersive experience. As long as it's not like Darth Vader up on stage dancing around with like Padme. We've all seen those videos. Yeah, the immersive experience is kind of like, that's also a casualty under this new Disney stuff. So a bunch of Disney Plus and Disney cancellations. And the Florida project that was gonna, like, a new hotel there and stuff that was gonna be like $1 million. Is that part of that? Was that what this was? No, they were gonna add a new one, right? I don't know. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on with Disney right now. If you're a Disney fan or fan of that content, it should give you pause. It should. Chris Schober says, I heard they're going to do another season of Star Wars Bad Batch, and I can't wait to see where it takes place. I never watched Bad Batch, so there you go. Okay. Bifer DeHobbit says, Disney can remaster the Star Wars original trilogy without weird changes and make a boatload of money. What, like the despecialized versions? They should. I don't know why there must have been some clause in there from Lucas to say that they can't alter the original trilogy, but I would, like, there's the pirated copies out there, I know, but, I got my copy of the original, but it's slowly deteriorating, which kind of sucks. Arglass says, Willow was agonizingly poor, which is a pity. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was really hoping Willow would have generated a good enough buzz that I would have said, yes, we're doing full live watch alongs, because I like Warwick Davis, man. The guy's a good dude, and I wanted that to really work out. Now I don't even know if I'll be able to see it. In fact, why don't we just take a quick pause here, and I'll see if I can pull it up on my, see if it's still, like, I don't know, I don't think it said when, but I would imagine like in the next month or so. I'm just logging into my Disney Plus here, guys. And we'll see if Willow is still on there. Oops. Willow's still there. But for how long remains to be seen. Yeah. Did they port over Hellraiser yet? No. They didn't port over Hellraiser. That's still on Hulu. That should come over. Prey is still there, right? Yeah, Prey is still there. Okay. They ported over that one. Guys, someday I do want to get into it. We should watch the Predator movies and Alien and stuff. Predator 2 on there? Yeah, Predator 2's there. Okay, cool. Hey, yeah, we should watch Predator 2. That one's so much fun. Wow. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's get into our formal review for Fast and Furious 10. And I hope that I don't step on too many of you guys' fingers out there, because I know that well, at least a couple of you there said that you really like this movie. So you may not like what I have to say. Well, you saw my initial reaction to it, so yeah. Okay. Actually, I wanted to pull up the trailer for it, where he Fast 10 Dam sequence, and I want to pull up. Okay. I'm just pulling up some material here that is pertinent to some of my points that I'm going to make about this movie. And when you guys hear my points, hopefully it will make logical sense. Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Actually, I need a quick wet my whistle here. Oh, that's so much good. That's good. That's so much better coffee. McDonald's does make good coffee. I just buy the beans and make it here. But McDonald's does make good coffee. And that's shameful for me to say, because I'm Canadian. I normally drink Tim Hortons stuff because it's, well, I'm Canadian. Anyway, enough of that. Fast 10 is in theaters this weekend, guys, and I gotta tell you this, it is loud, it is a lot of fun in the theater, it's a good theatrical experience for sure. So let's go in and see what the synopsis briefly reads as. Dom Toretto and his family are targeted by the vengeful son of a drug kingpin from the Fast 5 movie. So, who's the bad guy in this? Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa is the bad guy in this, and he is by far the standout of this film. He's going to be the one that everybody's been going to be talking about as the bad guy. He's colorful, he hams it up, he knows what kind of a movie he's in. And yeah, I came out of this movie just saying that, yeah, you got to check this out in the theater because of the sound design, the cars, the action, and stuff like that. And at the same time, in my initial reaction that's now up on the channel, I said that it does have some story issues. It's got some pacing problems in there. But it's a fast movie. You don't go into this expecting to have it to be something worthy of a Best Picture nomination. I said that it's a step up from Fast 9 with the ridiculous stunts. Now, he does still drive his car off a dam at the end. Well, you saw that in the trailers, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But if most people out there are just going to go out expecting to sit in the theater with their popcorn and just enjoy a romp, right? With Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, well, Statham's not in it that much, but with Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, the whole crew is there. Charlize Theron is oddly got a bigger role in this than I thought. It's got lots of small little cameos in there from like Helen Mirren and such. Brie Larson shows up in this. John Cena is also in this. Alan Ritchson also is a standout. Alan Ritchson in this, very interesting role. And some of the cameos that I'm not going to spoil in here for you in case you don't know. Yeah, they'll make in my theater when certain people showed up, it was like yeah, kind of like people were clapping because it's kind of like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen. And that may happen for you in the mid-credit scene. There's only one mid-credit scene. There's nothing after that, guys. So after that, you can go home. And it's worth seeing. So, and then there's like one more cameo towards the end of it where that's the one that really got people thumbs up. And that got me thumbs up. How they're going to explain it, how they're going to work around it. It's kind of like Han's back. He like, it's going to be something like that, like how Han came back. It's kind of like, do we really care? We know what these movies are. It's long. It's a bit of a long film. 2 hours and 21 minutes. And you will feel that. There was a couple times, multiple times actually, where I was looking at my phone kind of like, okay, guys, let's move it along here. Something needs to happen here. It takes some time to pause and have kind of like dramatic moments. The problem with it, though, is that the editing happens so fast that it's just kind of like you don't have time to get really all that invested in the scene. So it plays out like an amusement park ride. Like, sometimes when you're waiting in line and you see like actors come in and pretend that they're getting ready to go on the ride and stuff. And you see like, it's very third-rate production quality with really bad acting, right? That's what you kind of get that feeling and that vibe from when you watch the acting in Fast 10, because you don't get time to have an establishing shot of things for the directors to set the mood for a scene. It just happens all quickly like this. The dialogue is atrocious. It's terrible. But again, you're not watching it for that, right? You're watching it for the action. And it does have its payoffs. Now, my big criticism of this is that it's setting up the next film. That's if you're tired of the MCU making movies that just set up the next film, then I don't see why that logic would not apply to the Fast and Furious movie, Fast 10 here, because that's pretty much all this movie does, is set up the next film. And you're like an hour and 40 minutes into this, and you're like, okay, they set things in motion. Is this going to resolve in this movie? We know that it's supposed to be like in 2 parts, but now they're saying in 3 parts. And it's left with that very cliffhanger style ending where it's kind of like, is this like Dune Part 1 and 2? Maybe this one will appreciate in value after the second part comes out. Because while Jason Momoa is a good bad guy, you don't get that big epic final big battle that you would expect between these two, right? They do have their kind of like face-offs, but that's pretty much all it is. It's just like them looking at each other, kind of thing, right? That's my main criticism. That it's just setting up the next one kind of thing. And by the end of it, it's kind of like, well, did we know this, the bad guy's purpose? Did he achieve it? We know what Dom's purpose is. Did he achieve it? Did things come to a satisfying way to end there? No, they didn't. So there you go. That's my that's my harsher criticism of it. Okay. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about it as of 11:40 a.m. on Friday. So this is opening up on the weekend, guys. And 55% by the critics, 84% by the audience. And this is going to be one that, the audience score is going to be higher than the critics. Because as I said, I'm a critic, but, I'm able to look at it in such a way where I understand what type of film it's trying to be. I'm not going in there looking that critically at the pacing. It does have pacing issues for sure. I'm not looking at the acting to say that it's really cringeworthy acting. No, the acting suffers because of the editing, and I pointed that out to you guys. I know that some of these actors in there are capable of a lot more, like Charlize, um, Jason Momoa. Well, I don't know if Jason Momoa is or not, but it's acting that tailors. Um, it's tailored for that range of acting, right? Um, Vin Diesel, I've said this for a long time, is not a thespian. He's not that great of an actor. I'm really shocked that he's uh, gotten such a big fan base as he has, because his range is like this, guys. Uh, and it's kind of like you're something serious just really happened to you, and your only reaction is, uh, yeah, that's about it. um, let's go take a look at some of the Snapshot reviews and see if we agree with them. Just a couple. Let's take a look at a bad one here from ABC News. Only glints of the old Whiplash magic remain in Chapter 10 as thrills give away to thudding formula and paycheck acting. Paycheck acting. There you go. Yeah. And not you, Jason Momoa. That slowed down the action to the forge of runt of the Fast and the Furious later. Well, Jason Momoa, yeah, I felt that he did the best. Where the acting, like the I called it TV show acting, is Ludacris and Tyrese. Though I don't understand why those two characters are still in this film. They don't need to be here, and that's where the pacing comes in. Is like, we don't need those people in this film anymore. It's mostly about Dom, and if you could just center on Dom. I said this in my Straight Out of the Theater reaction too. There's just too many storylines going on where it's like, don't feel bad about getting rid of Ludacris and Tyrese. I don't understand what. Yeah, I'm puzzled as to what are you still doing in this film. This has nothing really to do with you. But they're part of the team, James. They're part of the family. You don't get it. Well, it's hard for me to say goodbye to my instinctions, my instinct of stories, right? Storytelling. When I see stuff that could get trimmed easily, all of the Ludacris and Tyrese stuff is chopped. It would be instantly chopped out of the story, and it would make it a much more tighter film. I like the stuff with Han, but you should really narrow that focus in on Vin Diesel and what's going on with his character as Dom. When you take the side stuff, the side missions of like going to like an internet cafe with Pete Davidson. Whoops, sorry, with cameos in there. When you do that kind of stuff, and it's like, well, oh, this is kind of fun. But then when you actually try to look at it with a little bit of just a little smidgen of criticism of asking about, did we really need that scene though? No, we didn't need that scene, right? Just go straight to Statham. That's what I would have done. So it does have some flaws in there, and I'm not going to give it a solid 9 out of 10, and I'm not going to tell you that it's the best movie of the year, but it's a good popcorn flick. That's what I'll say. It's a huge step up from 9 and 8, in my opinion. People know that I had been off the Fast and Furious franchise, like in the theaters. I had stopped going because I was done. I was tapped out. And I saw them, but it was kind of like, I'm glad that I waited for streaming. But this is the way that it's going. And if this does well in the box office, hopefully they're smart enough not to extend it out to 3 films. Just keep it to the 2 films, Vin, and end out on that high note that you want it to be, right? Because if the tracking for this is not tracking well right now for the weekend box office, it's kind of like the predictions is it's not as high as they would like, and especially with the budget of $350 million. I think it was tracking for like around the 80 million mark, which is not good. predictions for 70 million opening. Not good. So, Fast and the Furious movies always did well better internationally. And I've said that many times. For some reason, the international audience hasn't caught on to this style yet. Here in North America, we grew up with the stuff in the 80s, like the Die Hards and the Predators, and we expect that level, that tier of action. And for the while, the Fast and Furious movies, the first one started off like that. It got rejuvenated with number 5, and then it just became comic book. It just became too much like a comic book. And I want to give you guys 2 examples of this and what the difference here of what I mean by comic book kind of stuff. Cartoonish action with the stuff like the dam. We've seen clips of the dam here. I can't play it, right? Like this was at the end of the trailer, right? Of the car going down the dam, and it's CG. You can tell that, yeah, it has to be CG, right? Because they're not really going to drive a car down the dam, right? Vin Diesel's not going to do that. But wait a minute. What if Tom Cruise was doing Fast and Furious 10? Tom Cruise would be saying, oh, I'm actually going to drive a car down a dam and drive it off the edge of the dam. That's what Tom Cruise would do. He would actually drive a motorcycle off a cliff by himself, and you know that that's Tom Cruise doing that. You know that he would do that. Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious, driving a car off a dam. Green screen, cartoony. You see the difference there, guys? You see that point that I'm trying to make here with the type of action? And that's where it's kind of like, yeah, it's losing it a little bit. So, but they've got enough, I feel, coming out of Fast 10, they've got enough momentum. And they've assembled enough of the highlight cast that people would want to see in the final movie. Ended off with a big bang. They're trying to telegraph that Dom is going to die in the end, but that's probably not going to happen. Yeah. And those are pretty much my collective thoughts of Fast 10. Yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. We'll talk a little bit about some spoilers here in just a minute, but that's just my non-spoiler thoughts. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. What would I give Fast 10 as a rating? I would not be as harsh as the critics at 55%, but I'm nowhere near as high as an 8. My instincts as a movie fan still kick in and say that you gotta penalize it for story issues. I would give Fast 10 a 6 out of 10. But know that it's just a turn your brain off action flick that's just kind of worth seeing the sights. There. Yeah. That's what it is. It's worth seeing what they did with it. And how they've tried to somewhat course correct from the debacle that was Fast 9. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains. All right, so that'll be cut out. Let's take some live comments here, and we'll go briefly into some spoilers. Not too spoiler in case some people haven't seen it, but if you want to expand a little bit more on some of the action stuff, like that whole sequence in Rome, good action, great action. It was like shades of what we saw in Fast 5, right? Like even the dam stuff. I said that I just made a case that the dam sequence was cartoonish. Yes, but that's what this film set up for. I know that Vin Diesel wants to try and make this kind of like Lord of the Rings kind of quality. No, no, God, no, no. This that's very disrespectful to make that kind of comparison. It's a cartoon. This is on the same kind of level of Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. That's James. You can't say that. People love Fast and Furious. Well, guys, I also gotta give you my opinions about it. It is. It's Bugs. It's Roadrunner and Coyote. That's what Fast and Furious is. It's not a serious thing, and I know that. That's why I gave it a 6 out of 10. Like if I were to put my harsh critic glasses on this and actually dock it for the bad acting, for the bad writing, for the really bad pacing, and maybe a 4 out of 10 for Fast 10, and that would be a generous 4. So thank your stars that I gave it a 6 out of 10, because I was able to put that harsh critic side of myself aside, and guys, and give it to you that yes, I had fun with this, right? But it's something that I'm not edging to go back into the theater again to watch this. I'm not going to. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where it's kind of like it has a story enough there that it's going to be kind of like. Actually, I kind of want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 again. Fast 10 is going to be kind of like, I saw it, and I think that's what most people's reactions are going to be. And I tell you this, the talks of it being in a third film, like a trilogy, the only way that I could see that it would work as a trilogy for the final 3 is that mid-credit scene. And we can talk about that because it was spoiled online that The Rock comes back. The only way that it could work is if they did Fast 11 and it's all about The Rock, because and Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa does the same thing to The Rock that he just did to Dom in this. They made him suffer. And what I meant at the about the story structure there. Okay, we understand that Jason Momoa wants revenge, but he just doesn't want to kill them. He wants to make them suffer. He makes them suffer. How does that change towards the end? At the start of the movie, how does that motivation change in Jason Momoa? Oh, he tries to kill him. Yeah. So the only way that I could see them extending it into a trilogy is if they have like a standalone kind of thing with Momoa facing off with The Rock, and then in the third final Fast movie, it's Dom and The Rock have to team up again to take down Jason Momoa. That's the only way I could see them splitting into 3 parts. But if Fast 10 here doesn't do well at the box office, which that article is suggesting that the numbers may not be there. Like if this doesn't make $1 billion with the budget, the Fast 10 has one of the highest budgets of all time, 350, and that's probably even underreported. It's probably something more like 450, closer to 500 million. And that's not including marketing, and that's not including what studios hall, theater hall will be. And if it does anything near what Fast 9 does, Fast 9 only made 770 million. So if it makes that, it's a bomb. The Fast 10 will be a bomb. It'll be something, a losing venture. And they would have to put away the trilogy plans right there. That would squash it. You're not going to get 3 movies there, Vin. You're going to have to wrap it up in the second one. And it's going to have to be a much lower budget. Yeah. Whoops, sorry, some more live comments here. Alan Richardson is awesome as Jack Reacher. Can't wait season 2. Yeah, and he was really good in this. Alan Richardson. I was looking at him and I was like, this guy should be... Why isn't this guy our He-Man? He should be He-Man. My God. He's got the physique, for sure. And it makes me want to go watch Jack Reacher, for sure. Pfeiffer says, I was clapping, cheering, and shocked to my core watching Fast 10. Okay. Yeah, and let me talk about the audience, too, when I went out and saw it. Guys, this was the bunch of guy friends going out into the theater to watch it, and it's the kind of movie where those guy friends that go out to watch the movie together, every 5 minutes they're looking at their phone on Twitter or TikTok. They're not really paying attention to what the hell's going on the big screen. Every 5 minutes you're seeing somebody check their phone and laughing. And normally in my settings, if I see that all the time, I go complain about those people. But because it's this type of movie, that's the kind of crowd that's going to go out and see this, right? Um, People that just don't pay attention, don't care. They go out and see Fast 10. They're not going to go out and watch a review of Fast 10 to get that adulation, that confirmation bias that I really like Fast 10 and now I got to go out and find reviews that just confirm that back to me. No, they're not that. They don't even care about that stuff. That's what the kind of audience that was mostly in my theater. And then, of course, you got small people in there that really, really like it. My favorite scene was the rocket scene in Rome, Bifer says. Yeah, and that was a good sequence. It was. Wait, there are going to be 3 parts? I thought there was only going to be 2 parts. Well, there were. The Fast 11 was supposed to be the final one. But I think if Fast 10 doesn't do well here this weekend, it's going to have next weekend because it's not going to compete with Little Mermaid. Those are 2 different audiences. It's going to be competing with Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but yeah, there's really nothing here until June, and what was the first big one in June? The first big one in June is Transformers, right? Beautiful Life. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, June 2nd. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to... Fast 10 is going to get stunted by Fast... Because it is sort of the same type of audience that goes to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for that. Boogeyman. I'll be watching Boogeyman before Spider-Man. So that should tell you a lot about me, guys. And then after that is Transformers. Yeah, so you got... So next week you would have Little Mermaid. Then after that you got Spider-Man, and then you got Transformers. And we're going to talk about Transformers in just a few minutes here. I'm not going to spoil this one, but the last cameo right before credits, that one got thumbs up for me. Again, I don't know how they're going to explain it, but it's the Fast and Furious movies. That last cameo got lots of people cheering in my theater. And that makes it worth going out to see, because you want to be in a theater with the theatrical experience where everybody's going to be cheering and going like that and feel that. That's the value of Fast 10 in the theatrical experience. That's why I was so generous with my review. Hopefully people can understand that. Guys, we are running really late. And to think that I wanted to put in horror movie news in before all of this. Like there was going to be like 7 horror movie news storylines before this. Yeah. All right, let's get into that Transformers tracking. Transformers Rise of the Beast is tracking for 68 million to 70 million opening at the box office. Okay. Not 100 million, huh? I don't know. I was hoping that it would be much better. But I am really excited for Rise of the Beasts. Because, come on, Optimus Primal. You guys know how I feel about RC. I'm looking forward to it. It's got Unicron in there. The number is impressive over Bumblebee's 21.6 million. Bumblebee, though, I think is still the best Transformers movie. Last night did 44.6. So it's tracking better than most Transformers movies, right? Little Mermaid is swimming to 110 million. So that's if Little Mermaid makes 110 million next week, then it's going to totally destroy Fast 10. Yeah. Totally. It's going to stunt it here in the domestic box office for sure. But June 9th is when Transformers comes out. 68 to 70 million. Again, it's franchise. It's got the word of mouth. It's that big popcorn flick. We'll be full blown into the summer season, right? By then, and yeah, you're not expecting Shakespeare with it. So I'll be going into the same Rise of the Beast with the same mindset than what I did with Fast 10. Um, there was a point here I wanted to make about these franchise stuff and some of the clapback that people have been saying out there about wokeism in movies. Fast 10 definitely didn't have any wokeism in it, but I sort of get the impression that maybe Indiana Jones 5 may have some other issues in there, and the mindset from people like Kathleen Kennedy is from the literature that I've read about it is that okay, we've got a big property like Star Wars, we got a big property like Indiana Jones or Fast 10 or something. Along with that big platform, that big voice, we've got a responsibility to give a positive message about something. Whereas in traditionally, you would have a movie being written with the context of the story and the responsibility of putting in a message about equality. Just if that's not the driving point of that story, then they don't put it in. But because it's a big property like an Indiana Jones or something, then they're like, well, we have a responsibility to convey a positive message about equal rights or something. And it's kind of like you're shoehorning in something into a franchise, and that's what people don't like. They don't like that. And you don't get that. You don't get any of that with Fast and Furious. There's nothing like that, right? I mean, you didn't get it with Guardians of the Galaxy either. So, just a quick little point there that I wanted to make about that. We got to get through some of these storylines, guys. We're going overtime today. That's no big problem here. Gladiator 2, May Callumway, Derek Jacobi, and more cast with Fred Hetchinger in talks to replace Barry Keoghan. What? Did Barry Keoghan drop out of this? That sucks. Oh man, that sucks. May Callumway was in. All right, why is that frozen? May Callumway was in Moon Knight, right? Is that what she was in? Yeah. As the Scarab or whatever. I liked her. She was really good, so that's cool. So what the heck's going on with Barry Keoghan, man? Did he drop out? That sucks. Originally played White Lotus star Fred Hetchinger is in negotiations to play Emperor Geta. The role was originally set to be played by Barry Keoghan before scheduling conflicts forced him to drop out. Scheduling. What was on his plate? Was he going to be doing maybe Batman stuff? He is a good actor, guys. So he's not going to be in Gladiator 2. That sucks. Really looking forward to that. Because if he was going to be playing one of the emperors in that, he's got that tier of that acting tier in him that he can push it to the floor just like a Joaquin Phoenix. He's got that ability, and that sucks. Of course, he just got a claim last year from Banshees of Inisherin, and he was in the Batman as well. Just a small cameo, but yeah, let's see what his schedule is. He's in a TV show called Masters of the Air. Bringing them down, and this is post-production stuff, so this is stuff that's already in the can. Bringing them down, Saltburn, Untitled Trey Edwards Schultz project. So he's not on Gladiator 2 anymore. So we're scheduling conflicts. So there must be more stuff there coming down the works for him. Bummer. That's a bummer. But I do like the additions of the cast there. May Callumway, as I said, I liked her in in Moon Knight. Yeah. November 22nd, 2024 is when this was supposed to come out. And this is another project that should be starting production by now. Just like Beetlejuice 2 is going to come out, was announced and is already shooting. So you would think that this one should be starting pretty soon. Because the cast is rounding out there for sure. Argyle says Fast and Furious is about blended families, honor, and ton of torque. Yeah, for Schober, I just got my Region Blu-ray copy of John Wick Chapter 4, and I'm watching it. Going to review it on my TikTok account tonight. Oh, cool, man! I'll try to check that out. I like John Wick Chapter 4. It was yeah. John Wick Chapter 4 or Fast 10, guys, seriously. You're talking about doing stunt work. That's not cartoony, despite being the fact that it is over the top. Like John Wick, there's no doubt that, yeah, it's over the top. But you know that Keanu Reeves puts his body on the line for that stuff, right? So there's just that different level. And Vin Diesel likes to think that they're on equal level, but they're not. Not even close. Deadpool 3. Yeah, this broke the other day too. Brianna Hildebrand and Shioli Kutsuna will return for Deadpool 3. Megasonic Teenage Warhead. I liked her. I really liked her. I want to see more about her. Her, whatever. She didn't really do that much. I just like, there's some, just like Gina Carano. There's something about her that I see her on the screen and it's kind of like I want to see more of what she's doing. But she's been a side character in the background. I'm guessing it's just going to be another side. She'll just do what she's been doing for the first two films, right? She'll show up, be in a scene or two, offer in some assistance. But people just asked about those two characters, or at least Negasonic, so she'll be back. Good. Because they had good rapport, Ryan Reynolds and her. So that's cool in my book. Okay. I don't really have that much more for hit or miss. I saw this headline, though. New Karate Kid, Jackie Chan is in talks to return as his Mr. Han character. What? The new Karate Kid movie project. Oh, yeah, there was supposed to be another movie that was supposed to come out that was not going to be tied to Cobra Kai, that was not going to have any kind of tie to the original films whatsoever. But is it going to be with Jackie Chan? Maybe. It seems like it could possibly. I didn't hate his version. I just found it puzzling that they called it Karate Kid when it's a great insult to... isn't it a great insult to the Chinese that you would call their wushu karate, which is Japanese? Because they don't like each other in that aspect, right? Yeah, that was puzzling. But anyway, they're saying that he may come back. I don't know. As long as you don't have Jaden Smith. He wasn't that good of an actor. Oh, James. Can't believe he said that. Well, too bad I did. I don't know. I'll keep my eye on that if Jackie Chan comes back to that. I don't think that he would. Possibly. Is it necessary? I don't know. All right. Guys, that's pretty much all I got. I don't think another trailer dropped. I'm just checking my feed here. And if there is no feeds, I'm going to publish a bunch of shorts today too. What's the trailer here? Shooting Stars. Some basketball movie. Yeah, that's about it. All right, let's go over to the Twitterverse and round things up for this week. Yeah, guys, Tomorrow we will be doing a horror movie news show. So we will be around Saturday. Don't know what time though. Probably in the morning. Jacob Elordi stars in 2 films potentially premiering in 2023, Saltburn and Priscilla. This was another actor that was... He never threw his name into the ring for Superman. Possibly. Yeah. Jacob Elordi. Saltburn is going to have Barry Keoghan in it. Okay. Rosamund Pike. Wow. Like her a lot. Rosamund Pike, I still love Gone Girl. This is her best work for sure. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is 33%. Isn't that what we... no, we called it at 44%. Oh, so it's going down. Let me refresh this. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, it's seen. Well, I just refreshed this. Here it says 18 reviews, right? And I just refreshed it. So... Oh, there it says 12. So 12 with 12 reviews, it was 33%. So it actually went up. Okay, so that's good. I just saw it. I didn't see it there at the right. So it's going up from the critics. Well, that gives me hope. That gives me hope. Okay. Jonah Howard King doing press tour for Little Mermaid. That comes out next week. Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things, starring Emma. Yeah, I forgot. I got to publish my trailer reaction for that one. Emma Stone playing kind of like a Frankenstein. What a weird concept, man. But that's one. This is going to be like one of my most anticipated for this year for sure. Because I like the director. I like the cast. I like the concept. Soundtrack for Little Mermaid is out. Is it out now? On Apple Plus and Spotify. I don't want to get spoiled by the songs. I'll wait till I watch it. Challengers. Luca Guadagnino. Ugh. I don't like him. Not a very good director in my opinions. But James, people really like him. Didn't you like Bones and All? No, I didn't. He did Bones and All, right? I do like Zendaya a lot. She's one of my favorite actresses working today. She's in the top 10 for sure. Bones and All. Yeah, he did Bones and All right there. What else did he do? Staggering Girl, Suspiria. The Suspiria remake. Yeah, he's not one of my favorites. Artglass says karate was originally called Todi, which is known Japanese hand. Then it was changed politically to suit the Japanese government over 100 years ago. Oh. Oh, okay. What else is here? New clip. Little Mermaid. Oh yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon trailer. That dropped on Wednesday, right? Because it deals with Native Americans, I'm going to see it. I'm always hesitant about how we're portrayed on the big screen. I really am. And Leo. Leo looks really rough in that trailer, huh? Pedro Almodovar's upcoming English language film has reportedly been cast. All right. Barry Keoghan to star in Andre Arnold's next film. So is that the scheduling conflict? Is that why he's out of Gladiator 2? Possibly. Yeah. Jodie Benson and Halle Bailey. Jodie Benson was the original voice of Ariel, right? So that's kind of cool. Yeah, we seen this shiny dress of hers. That's cool. Gabrielle Union and Keith Powers in rom-com The Perfect Find on Netflix. Looking. Beetlejuice 2 has begun filming. Yeah, we know that. We saw that at the start of the show. Jennifer Lopez on the set of Goldenberg's Unstoppable. Guys, I had so much fun last Friday watching The Mother with you. In fact, let's do something. I haven't I've been trying to some comments I just don't know how to respond to, guys. Sometimes I'll delete a comment, or I just um I'm sorry to call this guy out, but I am. Uh, Bull S, ain't no way J Lo beating up any man. See, I'm not going to hit the thumbs up on this, but I have to hit reply. Otherwise, the replies, they just linger here forever, and I don't like that. I like to try to clean it up as much as I can. So how do I respond with this? Because I like that movie. I don't know what. You know what? This is how I respond. Three little dots. It counts. Uh, because yes, JLo, depending on what kind of character she's playing, she was an assassin. Yes, she beat up guys. Yes, she can. Um, some guys have glass jaws. You hit them and they go down, right? But she was really good in the Mother. It was worth seeing. James Marsden. Haven't seen him in a hot minute, right? Teaser trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon. Shrek was released. John Cena. Apparently, Margot Robbie helped John Cena get into the Barbie movie because he auditioned apparently and then was turned down. Like, really? Who would turn down John Cena? Why? I don't get it. And he was good. He was good in Fast 10. He had a moment where it was kind of like, wow. Yeah, that got me, guys. That got me, that moment with John Cena. She asked, why don't you do Barbie? I said, I've been trying. And Margot makes a lot of decisions for that. And I said, I'll do whatever you need. And that's cool. And that's something else, too, I'm looking forward to. Barbie movie, for sure. Because it looks like that. Again, Barbie's going to be just a silly movie. Popcorn flick where you just go in, turn off your mind, and enjoy it, right? I just got to take a look at this, guys, because Kyle Dubas is like the GM for the Maple Leafs, and it's trending for some reason. Is that true? It's going to make a lot of people happy. Kyle Dubas will not return as the GM for the Leafs. That will make so many people happy. But the Leafs have got to make some kind of a change because he made trades and business decisions that, yeah, a lot of people were calling for his head like last season. Yeah. Arglass says JLo can bring it with the best of them. Yeah, she can. Her portrayal in Enough sold me on her ability. She was really good in Enough too. Really good. All right, Monica Barbero, Elle Fanning will play love interests in Timothée Chalamet's Bob Dylan biopic. Well, we just talked about Elle Fanning, right? In that in that weird version of Little Mermaid that they were going to do. That would have been interesting. Bob Dylan biopic. Eddie Murphy in talks to star in a Pink Panther reboot. Live action CGI hybrid. He'll be playing Inspector Clouseau. So instead of a Steve Martin Clouseau, you would get a Eddie Murphy Clouseau. Wow, you can't get any worse than You People. I don't know what the heck that. You People was just a paycheck for him. My God. And it sucks because he was so good in Dolomite, and then he turns around and makes You People. Terrible. Terrible. All right. Yeah, Castaway Twisters. So that's where we kind of ended off. That's pretty much all I got in the can for today, guys. We've gone on long enough over time. So that's 12:24. That's it for me. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And come join us tomorrow for the Horror Weekly Roundup. And hopefully there's going to be no more wasps in this place. I better not move something and have like one kind of collect. Better not move like a piece of clothing. They do that. For some reason, when they go into the sleep mode, they'll like burrow into like a comforter on your couch or something, and then when you move it, it'll go. It'll be like, ah! Yeah. I totally see that happening. And we're not talking like a small little like yellow jacket kind of thing. I was talking like big, like a mother-sized hornet kind of wasp that I was trying to get out. But I haven't heard anything, so I must have shooted out the door. Yeah. Well, it is the season. So if I show up tomorrow and I got like a big red welt on my face, you know I've been doing battle. All right, that's it. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Go out and see Fast 10. And I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.